Alright, what is up, everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Wow, we just probably saw the best game of the NBA playoffs so far. The Indiana Pacers somehow come back and find a way to stun the Knicks and steal game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. We're going to talk about this game here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications to all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, getting closer and closer as days go on. So all support on our channel, very much appreciated. Look to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right to it. So, I mean, I think we probably just saw the best game of the playoffs so far in game one. The Pacers come back from down. I think they're down, 16 points in the fourth quarter. Find a way to send the game to OT and win the game 138, 135 in OT and stun the Knicks in game one. Yeah, this was an offensive clinic from the jump, from the get-go. Both teams, I think the Pacers hit their first 9 shots of the game. It was a back and forth between Miles Turner was hitting shots early, Anthony Towns hitting shots early. Both teams were able to get to the basket. There was not really much defense involved. The second quarter, the Knicks started taking control a little bit more. Mitchell Robinson was a big factor in this game in the first half in terms of his size in the paint, his rebounding, especially when the Pacers took out Miles Turner. Mitchell Robinson against Thomas Bryant and Obi Toppin was just, the Knicks are getting so many extra possessions and just capitalizing on them. I feel like the Knicks in the first half did a really good job of attacking the paint. Getting to the rim. I feel like that was one of the Pacers. Was the things I said in my preview of the conference finals. Like if the Knicks can attack the paint on the Pacers, I think they'll do a good job. And I think they were attacking the paint. They're getting contributions from everyone. Mikal Bridges had a really good first half. OG was hitting shots. Cat and Jalen Brunson were doing their thing. Well, Indiana, it was a tough start. Halliburton didn't really get going early. Pascal didn't really get going early. But just transition. The Pacers dominated this game in transition. Off of long rebounds, off of turnovers, getting out, and anytime they get a chance to run, they're running and they're capitalizing every single time. We get to the third, it's more of the same. And the fourth quarter, when the Knicks started taking a big lead, the Knicks started taking control of this game. Jalen Brunson was in foul trouble in the second half. He had 5 fouls early in the fourth quarter. And when Jalen Brunson went out of the game, I think it was only probably, a 3-4 point game. And I was like, dang, that's a big, moment for Indiana where it's like, okay, Indiana's got to, take control of this game. And the Knicks went on a big run. OG Anunoby was getting buckets in that fourth. Anthony Towns was hitting shots. The defense, it felt like all the energy was just going toward the Knicks way. Everything was going the Knicks way, whether it was rebounds, foul calls, shots going. I felt like everything was just going the Knicks way, and the Knicks were just, running it up on Indiana. And I was saying to myself, I was like, dang, this is the first time I've seen it. Because usually things like this happen in Indiana, where Indiana is one of those teams where it's like once it starts going, it's a kind of like what I said yesterday in the Thunder game, where once a little run starts happening, once a little bit starts going, it feels like all the momentum goes their way. And that's what happened with the Knicks early in the fourth quarter, where I felt like at one point everything was just shifted towards the Knicks. Every battle, all the energy was just in the Knicks' favor. I'm gonna go to play-by-play real quick. We go to the fourth quarter. The Knicks at some point open up. Yeah, they open up a 16-point lead at one point in this game with 6.5 minutes left to go in this game. With 5 minutes left, with about 3.5 minutes left, they had a 14-point lead. Under 3 minutes left. They had multiple 14-point leads. Well, under 3 minutes left, 2:51 left, Jalen Brunson hits a three-pointer that I thought was a knockout punch. It was a 14-point lead with 2:51 left. From that moment on, Aaron Nesmith. You got to give, the game ball might have to go to Aaron Nesmith, even though Tyrese Halliburton probably maybe is going to get it. They don't win this game without Aaron Nesmith. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't get that moment without Aaron Nesmith doing what he did, because he turned into the second coming of Steph Curry in this fourth quarter. I mean, he hit in the last 5 minutes of the game, he hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes in the last 5 minutes of the game. That is insane. He hit 6 threes in the last 5 minutes of the game. And I felt like he was just, there was that point the Pacers were just giving him the ball and he was just pulling up and it was going in. And for the Knicks, they missed a couple easy shots. Turned the ball. They had a bad turnover. 30 seconds left. They turned the ball over to give Indiana another chance. He's missing another amazing shot to make it a 2-point game. 23 seconds left. Then free throws. Kids, practice your free throws. Anthony Towns misses a free throw. with 14 seconds left to keep it a 3-point game. Pacers come down, Nembhard get and an OB take foul on Neesmith. He's 2 free throws, 1-point game. OG gets fouled. When the Knicks almost turned the ball over in that possession too, because Brunson tried to throw it on Neesmith, but the ball was live and loose, and thankfully the Pacers weren't aware of it, and OG came over and got it, and they foul OG. OG misses the first free throw, makes the second. It's a 2-point game, 7 seconds left. Tyrese Haliburton comes down, tries to get to the rim, loses the ball, gets it back, and just scuttles back to the 3-point line, pulls it up, and it literally like Kawhi Leonard flashbacks of the ball bounces, goes all the way up and hits the rafters, drops back in. And at first everyone thought it was a 3, and I literally like just went nuts. I was like, no way, because it happened. I'm a Cavs fan. It happened in the Cavs game where they got the offensive rebound and Haliburton hits that shot. And I was like, hey, no way it's going to happen again. The Haliburton has another moment like this. The replay, it's a 2-pointer. Big Kevin Durant energy back in 2021 with the Nets where he had the foot on the line. Haliburton had the foot on the line. You know, he did the choke celebration and everything. Tie game. We go to overtime. And yeah, the Pacers just always find a way to do this, man. I feel like the Pacers are like the miracle team where anytime the Pacers are in a game in the fourth quarter in a close game, something insane happens. You saw in the first round against the Bucks in game 5 where the Bucks were up like 7 with 40 seconds left and they found a way to win the game. In the Cavs series, when the Cavs are up 20 and the Pacers come back and Haliburton, they get the offensive rebound and Haliburton hits that 3-pointer to win the game. And then this game where they're down 9 points with like 35 seconds left. Oh no, well, like 55 seconds left, something like that. Down 14 at this point in the fourth quarter. And they come back and find a way to tie the game and send it to overtime. Then we get to overtime. The Knicks start off with the first couple of baskets. Cat hits a fader. OG hits a layup. And then the Pacers, Nembhard. 2 back-to-back big buckets, a 3-pointer, and then a layup to take the lead. Haliburton had a big layup where he got to the rim, took the contact, just threw it up and went in. Obi Toppin had a huge putback dunk on this one off a Haliburton miss. Nembhard had another basket actually too on the cut where Josh Hart missed fell asleep and Nembhard got the cut. And then yeah, turnover by the Knicks again. Then they don't foul in the next possession. They give up a wide open dunk to Obi Toppin. That could have been an and one, but they didn't call the foul on Mikal Bridges. And the last possession, you saw the fatigue. Fatigue really hit the Knicks hard in this game, and that's the difference in the depth, which I talked about in my preview video of the conference finals. Like the depth could be a big factor for Indiana, and they did because the Pacers were able to put Obi Toppin in the game and try to run kind of like a small ball lineup. While the Knicks, they can't really afford that, So Brunson took the step back, air ball. Hart got the rebound. Towns missed the 3. Mikal tried to get the rebound but lost the ball, and Indiana ends up coming in and stealing this game. Haliburton gives you 31 and 11, hits big shots, and really just took over this game. He wasn't amazing throughout the entirety of it, but in these playoffs specifically, it's been the fourth quarter. He's probably maybe have been the clutchest player in the NBA in the fourth quarter of these playoffs so far. When it comes to late game situations and it comes to those last possessions, he just finds a way to be able to put his team in the position to win. And he did have Aaron Neesmith, 8 3-pointers in this game. Aaron Neesmith, again, he had 6 threes in the last 5 minutes of the game. Like literally, if Aaron Neesmith doesn't turn into Steph Curry in the last 5 minutes, the Pacers don't win this game. The Pacers aren't even in it. The Pacers probably lose by like 8 or 10 if Aaron Neesmith doesn't do what he does. So obviously he gets credit. We got to give credit to Andrew Nembhard again in that overtime. Hit some huge shots. Pascal Siakam did his thing out there. Obi Toppin, the minutes he gave, 8 points and 10 rebounds with a +9 off the bench when the rest of the bench didn't really do much. So yeah, Indiana just finding a way to win. And for the Knicks, that's a brutal L, man. A really, really brutal loss. I mean, you're up 15-16 in the fourth quarter at home, and you find a way to lose that game. It's just tough, man. I mean, Brunson gives you 40, 43, not a great shooting night, but again, actually, no, he didn't. He shot 60% from the field. He only hit 1 3, but I mean, he shot 60% from the field, only missed 2 free throws. He did have 7 turnovers and 5 fouls, but just tough for Brunson. He couldn't really get things going because I feel like the Pacers are kind of just, giving him all the pressure he could. Cat gives you 35 and 12. OG tries to give you something with 16. I mean, I get really tough for me. I feel like there's a lot of points during this game for the Knicks where it turned back into Brunson ball. Where just give the ball to Jalen Brunson and let him work. There's a lot of times also with Cat, you definitely saw the fatigue from Cat. Because Cat, once it came to the fourth quarter and overtime, he started shooting a lot of threes. I think he only had like 2 or 3 3-point attempts in like at one point in the fourth, and he finished with 8. So Cat started to, I feel like, settle a lot from 3, and shoot a lot. Um, yeah, Mikhail doesn't hit a 3 in this game. OG went a little cold late. He didn't really get a lot of offense possession. Again, the ball kind of ended up in Brunson's hands late, which is understandable, obviously. But I feel like nothing else from the Knicks could work. And again, the fatigue. I mean, Mikhail, 46 minutes, 44 minutes for Jalen, for Josh Hart, 41 for OG. Jalen Brunson only played 37 because he had 5 fouls. If he didn't have 5 fouls, he probably would have played 45 minutes. You know, just the fatigue really hit for the Knicks. The execution was not great. Again, a lot of weird late game turnovers. Missed free. I mean, they missed 12 free throws. 12 free throws missed, while the Pacers only missed 7. Like, and again, 2 missed free throws late in the clutch. OG and Cat both missed a free throw. Like, if those 2 free throws are made, the Knicks tired. If OG makes, that first free throw out of the last 2, then the Knicks not even in that position because then they foul, and Halliburton doesn't get a chance to have that moment. If Cat hits that first free throw to make it a 4-point possession, then next possession when they come down to foul, like just moments like that, the turnover is late. Where Brunson turned the ball over in the fourth quarter. Brunson hit the ball out of bounds on overtime. The fatigue factor really hit. Just like the Knicks just not being able to close out games. And again, the Pacers are just a team that they find these like miracle Disney Channel movie type of wins where you feel like it's like literally at one point where they went up when Brunson hit that shot to go up 14 like 3 minutes left. I was like, yep, that's the game. I was starting to thinking about, okay, what am I gonna say for this video? How can the Pacers come back and all that stuff? And the Pacers, yeah, find a way to win, man. They really do. This team is just this team just has it's the ultimate team of just like the game's not over until the buzzer sounds. And you gotta credit them for just the heart they have, for the determination they have, for literally never giving up and just keep going until the final clock hits 0:00. But some things for the series that I saw, I feel like the Pacers definitely have to do a good job of getting half court offense. I feel like there's a lot of points more in the first half where I felt like the half court offense kind of went dull, but they found a way late in the fourth and overtime to start hitting those shots. They end up shooting 51% from the field and 40% from 3, even though I feel like they didn't really have their greatest offensive game. Like, I honestly, if you would have told me the Pacers shot 51% from the field, 40% from 3 in the third quarter, you would have said they ended up shooting like that. I was like, really? How? Like, they saved their best for last, which is good. Miles Turner didn't really play a lot of minutes, 31 minutes. The Pacers tried to go with more of a small ball lineup. I personally don't think Thomas Bryant should be playing that many minutes. Thomas Bryant, I feel like, didn't really do much out there. That made me think, oh yeah, Thomas Bryant should play. I feel like a lot more Miles Turner minutes should be good. Out there, I know they want to go more small, more switch everything, and try to use the athleticism and the pace to their advantage. But I feel like Miles Turner should be getting some more run. Pascal Siakam, I feel like he had 17, 5, and 6, but it felt like a really quiet 17, 5, and 6. Like, honestly, at one point it showed he had like 17. I was like, he has 17 points? It feels like he has 9. Like, he didn't really make a big impact. I feel like, you know, he should make more of an impact. Looking at some of the numbers here. Points in the paint. New York won the points in the paint battle, but only by 12, 62-50. The Pacers started to get in the paint late in that fourth quarter and overtime. I feel like Knicks, they had a lot of points in this game and like in the third quarter, in the end of the second quarter, felt like that. Points in the third quarter felt like that. During the Pacers comeback in the fourth quarter, it felt like they started to kind of fall in love with the 3 a little bit, especially Karl-Anthony Towns. And, I feel like them attacking the paint was a big factor. But points, fast break points, Pacers, 13 fast break points, and Knicks only had 5 in this game. So, yeah, bench points, Indiana, 31, New York, 17. Not as crazy of a differential as I thought it was going to be, but those 13 bench points were huge. Points off turnovers, Indiana, 27, New York, 4. That's big because, Indiana forced 15 turnovers. Indiana forced 15 turnovers and scored 27 points. Again, you have a 23-point advantage. And points off turnovers is huge. And we see with OKC where they literally live off of points off turnovers. So yeah, Knicks got to clean things up. You're going to need to get to the basket. I think more getting to the basket and more putting pressure on the Pacers because you took 40 free throws in this game. Usually you take 40 free throws, you win. you know. But again, you got to make them. You missed 12 of them. You missed 2 late that really cost you. So getting to the rim, getting to the basket is good. They dominated the rebounding battle, 65-49. That should be a win right there. But you double the amount of turnovers they have, you know, and they shoot better from 3. So yeah, for New York, really, honestly, it's more gonna be a mental thing. They're gonna have to put this game behind them. Like that's a very defeating loss to have, where you know, with 3 minutes left, you're like, we got this, and then you look up, and now 10 minutes later, you're in your locker room sitting there like, how did we lose that game? That's very tough mentally, but I trust that this team is gonna be able to come back and kind of move that off and come back in game 2 better. I think again, not settling. I feel like more, you know, getting to the basket and more, you know, attacking the rim, getting to the free throw line is gonna help them a whole lot. I feel like the perimeter defense really fell late in this game. I feel like they're gonna have to do a better job of that. And for Indiana, I think getting their offense going early obviously is gonna count a lot more. I think more Miles Turner minutes should be in there. Um, and I feel like, yeah, I mean, Coffee Towns had a great game. You know, Brunson had a really good shooting night, but if they could limit, you know, I think the Knicks, what really makes the Knicks special, I feel like if OG can really pop off. And OG had moments that he popped off, but just not enough. You know, he had that big fourth quarter, but besides that, there wasn't really a whole lot of great offensive, you know, moments for OG. I feel like him being aggressive all the time makes a big difference. I think the Pacers gonna be very interesting to see how much they go to the small ball lineup, in game 2, where Mitchell Robinson was a monster in the minutes that he played. He only played 20 minutes though, but he had 8 rebounds and 4 offensive rebounds in those minutes. So I feel like maybe more Mitchell Robinson minutes should be in play for the rest of the series, because if the Pacers can't really, if Thomas Bryant and Obi Toppin can't box him out, then just put Mitchell Robinson in the game, you know. But yeah, just what an amazing game. I mean, this is why we love playoff basketball. You know, how can you not love playoff basketball after a game like this? This was absolute cinema, absolutely amazing. And yeah, we need 7 games of this, by the way. We need, if you like, we need a 7-game series of this, man. Like this is basketball. This is playoff basketball right here, man. This is awesome. And yeah, I'm just, I hope we could play. I wish we could play game 2 tomorrow. You know, I wish we could just go boom, 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 but obviously not. But yeah, what's today? Wednesday, so Friday. Friday, game 2. It's gonna be awesome to watch. But yeah, it's gonna be it today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, doing all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it a whole lot. Once again, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I'll support on the channel. Would be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.